Land invaders at the Lindokuhle Mnguni Occupation in Rosherville, Johannesburg, say they want government to officially recognize them as a community. Faeeza Chame, Ward 57 councillor, joins us now via our video line for more on this conversation. Faeeza, thank you so much for joining us this evening here on SABC News. Of course, there's a major problem facing the community of Lindokuhle Mnguni Occupation, and they are also being hindered here to vote.
Hi, yes. Let's start from the beginning. The residents that are actually staying in that informal settlement, they started there about a year ago. And then there was a confusion whether that piece of land belongs to Ekurhuleni or whether it belongs to the city of Joburg. I finally had a meeting with the officials from the city of Johannesburg, and then we discovered that that land indeed does belong to the city of Johannesburg. Also, they need to understand that everyone has a right to vote. Everyone must vote in the democracy. Every vote counts. So there's no ways where I told them or anybody else can tell them that they could not vote. So I'm a bit confused when I heard that they could not vote. So I'm not quite sure where that came from.
Yes, and of course, one would say my recollection with the IEC is that you need to have an address for you to be allowed to vote. And you are saying as well that this community does not have an address because of the problem that they faced in the past, because of whether they fall under the Ekurhuleni municipality and the city of Johannesburg. What is that status now like? What is the progress here? Will they be getting those addresses?
And I confirmed with the IEC whether these people can vote, although they are staying illegally on that land. The IEC confirmed with me, whether you live under the bridge, whether you live in a castle, everyone has the right to vote. If they had to go to the IEC office, which they can still go because the voting process is still open, anyone can vote as long as you have a South African ID and you are 18 years and above. So yes, they are still allowed to go and vote. They must just tell the IEC exactly where they live, and the IEC will take it from there, and obviously they will be registered on the system.
Has this been communicated to the residents of Lindokuhle Mnguni?
Not as yet. I have only found out that they could not vote. I think it was yesterday morning when I found out that they could not vote. Actually, it was on the radio, it was all over, and the date was given when was the registration weekend given. But like I said now, the registration is still open for people to go and vote.
All right, Faeeza. So what seems to be the issue here when it comes to the residents of Lindokuhle Mnguni? Because we understand that there are issues with that because this is a piece of land which has been illegally occupied. They have not been allowed to vote. So that seems to have been resolved now through you and the IEC.
Yes, they can still go and vote. But the issue still remains that they are staying on illegal land. The land belongs to the city of Johannesburg. That informal settlement, it's not yet recognized by the city because these people, they just put themselves there. I personally went to go and ask them from which areas did they come. Others said they came from Primrose, and Primrose is in Ekurhuleni. And that is where the confusion came from. And that land where they are, it is a border between the city of Johannesburg and Ekurhuleni. That is where the whole confusion was in. So we were under the impression that that whole camp belongs to Ekurhuleni.
So when can we see the city of Johannesburg regain control of that piece of land to officially give them their addresses?
I have spoken to the city of Johannesburg. I personally took one of the officials there to go and show her what the land looks like. But at the same time, we do have residents from from Elandspark as well. Elandspark is right across where this informal settlement is. And the residents are all up in arms regarding this camp that came up. So, yeah, they actually said that the city must get a court order to evict these people. So that is between the city. They must decide what they're going to do. Are they going to regularize them on that land, or are they going to evict them? But everything is entirely up to the city. As it stands now, we have more than 200 people that are homeless, 200,000 people that are homeless. This is across across the country. So yes, there is a major problem. And also the housing list is more than 600 people is on the waiting list. So I'd also like to advise these people, if they have South African IDs, and that is what I also told them, they need to go to the housing department and to go and apply for accommodation, so that the city must know that these people are looking for accommodation.
All right, Faeeza, thank you so much for your time.